हेलो, गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। माय नेम इज शुभम जगदीश एंड वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। तो क्राइस्ट का पेपर बहुत करीब आ चुका है, तो मैंने सोचा कि कुछ ऐसे ही क्राइस्ट के एलुमनाइज को लेकर आया जाए जो तुमको सच में क्राइस्ट के बारे में बता सके, साथ में वो भी अपनी तरफ से कुछ टिप्स दे रखे, टिप्स दे सके ताकि आपको अपकमिंग पेपर के लिए क्या क्या पढ़ना है, क्या इंटरव्यूज में आएगा, क्या माइक्रो प्रेजेंटेशंस में आएगा। बहुत कंफ्यूजन है तुम्हारे दिमाग में बच्चा लोग, तो आज कोशिश करते हैं कि ये सारी कंफ्यूजन को दूर कर दिया जाए बाय अ सिंगल वीडियो। सो लेट्स वेलकम तान्या आनंद। she did her masters MBA किया है इन्होंने क्राइस्ट कॉलेज से। वेलकम मैम, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल।
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
सो मैम प्लीज आप ऑडियंस को बताओ कि आपका क्या जर्नी रहा है। यू बिलोंग टू लखनऊ ओनली, सो
Yes.
प्लीज टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट यू।
My journey is very interesting. Thanks to my father's job. So he was in a government service. He retired as zonal manager for National Handloom Development Corporations. उसकी वजह से हम बहुत जगह transfer करके आए हैं. लखनऊ में my experience has been only for 2 years, where I studied in LPA Sector I, whereas I've traveled all across and I have done my schooling all around India. So the major education which you can say, your 9th-10th standard was in Lucknow. Then I did my 11th and 12th in Coimbatore. That is a place in South India, and trust me guys, जब मेरे को भी पता चला था कि मैं कोयम्बटूर ट्रांसफर हो रही हूँ, I had to look up an atlas. उस समय हमारे पास atlas होता था, हमारे पास phones नहीं होते थे कि हम Google Maps में जाके देखें कि कहाँ है ये जगह. So me being that kid, I went to atlas to find ये कोयम्बटूर है कहाँ. Then I got to know that it's such a great hub for handloom sector, and that's where my father was. And I studied my 11th and 12th in Coimbatore. Did my graduation from BCom Professional Accountancy from PSG College. And straight after that, I gave my examinations for MBA entrances exam, and I cleared through MAT, and I went to Christ University for completing my MBA. So immediately completing after my MBA, I got my campus placement with ITC. I stayed there for 2 years, and after that, I went to Intel. And then right now I'm in UHG, United Health Group. It's a Fortune 5 company into the health insurance sector. And I'm working in the sister company of UHG called Optum. So I am the HR. I've always been in HR from the start of my MBA. And that is something I'm really passionate about. And I would speak about more on the video as well. Like how does your passion really tells you which direction to go to, and it will really help you in the future as well, which stream to take in order to make sure that your future is much better.
All right. So तान्या, बहुत ज़्यादा डाइवर्स एक्सपीरियंस रहा है आपका सो फार. अभी 13th मार्च को बच्चे कुछ पेपर दे रहे हैं क्राइस्ट का. दे आर appearing for their BBA examinations for 28th April को. Some of them are appearing and some of them are appearing on 8th of May. So 3 डेट्स हैं, बच्चे अपीयर करने वाले हैं. एंट्रेंस दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग, रिटन टेस्ट आने वाला है, माइक्रो प्रेजेंटेशन आएगा. एंड जिस तरह से क्राइस्ट का लेवल है, यू आर एन alumni to that particular college. तो कुछ कॉलेज के बारे में बताइए, how good the college is.
The college life was like just great. It was, I think, Christ University, Christ College is that college which really grooms you. It grooms you really well for your future. The professors there are very, very smart. They are very experienced folks. Not only they are in the teaching backgrounds, they from previous, whatever they have done previously, but they're also the people from corporate sector as well. They have completed their experiences in corporate lives, and after that, maybe their calling was to go to university colleges and start teaching. So the teachers there are very, very smart, and I think the kind of exposure, and especially the campus. So I think Christ ka major attraction jo uska USP hai, wo uska campus hai. The campus is so good, and you will meet such diverse amount of people there from different ethnicity and from all over India, even all over the world. Actually, they have so many of these exchange programs that you're going to make friends with so many people, that the exposure that you get there is just amazing. I think it's such an open campus with such they have such these playgrounds, they have these cafes all along the road, because it's huge campus from inside. So there's so many different places where you sit down and you do so many different activities. आप एक जगह कॉफी सिप कर रहे होगे, वहां पे थिएटर की प्रैक्टिस चल रही होगी, कुछ फ्रेंड्स अपने जो है कुछ बात कर रहे होंगे, something interesting topic, and they're just not going to mind if you go to them and have a conversation. There have been so many times that I have made made friends from that university, and random conversations. So I think that is the USP of that, that college and the campus, that the exposure that you're going to get is going to be tremendous.
Okay. So college के बारे में तो आपने बता दिया. I haven't been to Christ and USA. आपने किस ईयर में पास आउट किया था अपना MBA from Christ?
I passed out from 2017. So
Okay,
I
तो
went
अभी तो
in
एकदम
2015.
latest है, before COVID, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
So मतलब why anybody should choose Christ over other colleges? I know it's a happening college, बहुत बढ़िया, it is very difficult to get in. But parents आपका ये वीडियो देख रहे होंगे तान्या, so क्या होगा कि वो पूछेंगे ना कि हम ब्राइस में बच्चों को भेजें. What is the need of sending my child for a BCom course or for a BBA course to Christ? मतलब क्या है ऐसा पेरेंट्स के लिए, आप क्या बताना चाहोगे?
I think it's a very nice question, and to all the parents out there, I would just like to tell them that Christ is one of the safest campus that your kid can be. And usually I hear parents, मुझे बहुत लोग मिलते हैं जो ये बात बोलते हैं कि हमें अपने बच्चे का जो अंडरग्रेड्स है वो अपने होम टाउन में कराना है और हम उनको पोस्ट ग्रेड्स में बाहर भेजेंगे. ठीक है, वो मेंटालिटी मुझे समझ नहीं आती है. I'm not very familiarized with that thing, and I personally don't believe in that concept, because I think कि आपने अपने बच्चे को 12th standard तक अपने you have kept them under your guidance. They have just been there in that limited exposure. कुछ बच्चों को तो मैं जो देखती हूँ वो बेचारे KG standard से लेके 12th तक एक ही स्कूल में पढ़ते चले जाते हैं. वो एक ही सेट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स, वो एक ही चेहरे, क्योंकि आपको प्रिंसिपल से लेके चपरासी तक हर इंसान आपको स्कूल में जानता है. Like everyone knows in that school कि आप कौन हो कौन नहीं. The real difficulty, the real test of life actually starts when you move out of the house. The first step that you take out of the house is when you get to know your reality. Where do you stand in this world? And earliest the exposure, the better for the kid. I mean, जितनी जल्दी वो exposure, एक independency आप अपने बच्चे को दोगे, उतनी जल्दी उसको actually समझ में आएगा कि आगे करना क्या है. You can't keep them under that constant guidance lifelong, because nowadays I see kids are so smart. They are so independent in their thoughts, and they really know what to do. But when they get exposure as well, they get a better understanding कि हमारे next steps क्या हो सकते हैं. तो उस चीज के लिए I think Christ is one of the best places to be, because being in South India, it's in a very different place altogether. You get a very different exposure there. You meet people like, एक कहावत है, अंधे में कानो राजा करके जो कुछ है, right? When you stay within your hometown, you are that. But when you get out of that place, you understand, आपको अपनी value पता चलती है. You try to understand where do you stand among the crowd. And when that reality hits you hard, right? That is the moment when your kid actually grows up and that maturity kicks in very early. And I think it's very important for that to, for kids to have that. And Christ is that campus where you have such matured and such professional professors and such amazing faculty, and the way their program is structured for the 3 years of BBA course, and the kind of opportunities also they provide for exposures of going outside, and the kind of exchange programs that they have. It just gives your kids such an amazing exposure with like great vast experience, that your kid will really understand कि उसके next steps ना एकदम crystal clear बन जाएंगे कि अब क्या कर सकते हैं हम BBA, क्योंकि BBA तक जिंदगी सीमित नहीं है. BBA के बाद I'm sure you get these amazing opportunity कि जॉब करना है, बिजनेस करना है, जो भी करना है. बट अगर उसके बाद भी पढ़ने का मन है, Christ is one of the place which will give you an amazing guidance.
Okay, so I know it is hell difficult to go into Christ. And
yes,
आप
it
कुछ
is.
इसके ऊपर बच्चों को बताओ कि what kind of temperament they should have, how they should go ahead and prepare their academics along with their entrances, along with the communications, interview कैसे देना है, micro presentations में क्या करें वो, what kind of acumen they should develop कि Christ उन्हें select करे.
Christ is that one place which really picks up confidence very easily. So if you are confident, I mean, पढ़ना एक जगह होता है, whereas अपना confidence अलग जगह होता है. Confidence in Christ is very necessary. If you have that confidence which speak right then and there, I think you've just cracked your exams and everything. I mean, your exam cracking, I'm sure you can definitely help out the students who are just there कि आपको exam में क्या क्या prepare करना है. वो चीज हो जाएगी. But major challenge तब आता है जब आप एक hall में जाते हो, जब उनका hall है जहाँ पे where you sit and you see 2,000, 3,000 kids, and out of which there is just 500 seats available. where you see 3,000 ka crowd, and out of which there are like barely 200, 500 seats available, out of which jo ko general quota, dusre quota, all of that, you get intimidated by all of that. Because when I went for my exam, my father came up to me and he asked me, he's like, beta kar logi na? I was like, because the crowd was so huge, and I saw so many people out there with, going to different rooms. हर किसी का अपना अपना, discussion चल रहा है, हर किसी की अपनी micro presentation चल रही है, हर किसी के अंदर वो caliber है कि वो कर लेगा. But where do you stand is something, it is so intimidating that it really scares you. It scares the hell out of you. But then I think what you really have to do, and I think this would be my one of that sentence, which I'm going to end the whole this conversation, is enjoy the process. Just enjoy the process. जो है जैसा है वैसे बिल्कुल सच्चाई में रखो. ये कुछ फेक करने की जरूरी नहीं है, because those people are such experts that they will gauge on you just like in a second. It doesn't take more than a second to judge them, like कि आप कौन हो, क्या हो, कितना caliber रखते हो, and everything. You just need to enjoy the process. Do not think of it like an entrance exam. Do not think like कि आपका future इस पे depend करता है. Think of it, it's in another conversation that you're having with your micro presentation, or with the group discussion, or with that interview that one-on-one basis interview that the panel is going to take for you. Just enjoy it such purely and thoroughly, and keep your smile uptight. Your smile is really gonna help you there. Just smile, and don't let anyone else intimidate you in such a way that you get scared of it, because there's nothing to be scared of. It's a process where you just have to go through it and enjoy it in a way that, when you come out of it, you feel confident कि यार जो भी हो जैसा भी हो मैंने तो अच्छा दिया.
Okay.
वो बहुत जरूरी है.
हाँ, very much indeed कि कॉन्फिडेंस का लेवल अगर सही है, और कॉन्फिडेंस भी नहीं होना ऑब्वियस सी बात है, लेकिन ऐसा भी नहीं होना है कि अगर कोई आंसर नहीं आता है तो आपका नहीं होने वाला एडमिशन, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है.
Exactly.
हाँ.
You're just kids, try understanding this point, guys, whoever is watching this, even the parents. I mean, ये बच्चे हैं, ये अभी सिर्फ 12वीं पास हुए हैं. They're just 12th pass out right now.
Yes.
They are not going to know everything and anything under this universe, okay? They are going to make mistakes as well. So if you're making a mistake, just own that. कि नहीं आता बॉस, नहीं आता, कोई बात नहीं, सीखेंगे, सीखने के लिए तो आए हैं. So, keep that confidence intact in you, and trust me, these people are going to take that so positively. People usually think कि अगर हमसे कोई question पूछा और हमने जवाब नहीं दिया, that means हमारी बेइज्जती हो गई. नहीं, ये बिल्कुल भी केस नहीं है. Being in HR, being into the interview sector where I interview hundreds of people on a daily basis, that's what is my one advice I give to all my candidates, all the students that I interview. नहीं आता तो आप बोल दो, हम आपसे expect नहीं कर रहे हैं. So that's all it is.
Okay, exactly. Thank you. मैं इतना सोचने में लगा, हाँ, मैंने कहा हाँ यार ऐसे ही तो करना चाहिए, मुझे भी कभी इंटरव्यू देना चाहिए तो मुझे भी ऐसे ही देना चाहिए. हाँ.
You should be as open, as free, and as authentic yourself that you are. क्योंकि the interviewers are already there. Even I am here. I know how the psyche of that person works at that point of time. It's because we are so tense कि हमें पहला impression एकदम अच्छा बनाना है, एकदम सटीक बनाना है, and everything. उस pressure में आके हम सब कुछ बर्बाद कर देते हैं. वो करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Be your authentic self. That's all I expect from the candidates, and that's what I expect even when I go to colleges and I interview these students and everything. That's what I expect out of them, and that's what these interviewers are also expecting out of the interviewee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So students, मैं आपको ये बता दूं कि अगर आप कल को graduate होते हो from Christ or from any other college, so this lady right on your screen would be coming to your campus and would be taking you out from there, and you would be placed to any of the good companies whom she would be working for. So तान्या, कुछ ऐसी एक या दो टिप्स की यार graduation के बाद ना ऐसा कौन सा ये लोग अपने अंदर एक दो characteristics add कर लें, ऐसा क्या सीख लें so that they are industry ready while doing their graduation? I know Christ will be grooming them like anything.
Yeah.
But like any 2-3 tips for students कि ये अगर आ गया तो the interviewer like you will be picking them up.
I think first thing that I want them to understand is that the theoretical knowledge that you get in college and the practical knowledge that you're going to apply in your job, it's way apart. It's like North Pole, South Pole. It's very different. सो जो आप पढ़ते हो और जो आप अप्लाई करोगे उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस होता है. तो इन ऑर्डर टू बिल्ड अ ब्रिज बिटवीन अ गैप बिटवीन ऑल ऑफ दिस, यू गॉट टू हैव सम गुड सीरियस इंटर्नशिप्स. आपको अपनी कुछ internships, you should have some really good experiences with corporate sector. I see a lot of kids nowadays who just, do not take their internships that seriously, who do not take their first jobs that seriously. And I think that is the worst thing that, that these kids do nowadays. I think अगर मैं भी अपने previous experience को देखूं और मैं judge करूं, तो अगर किसी ने मुझे ये advice दी होती तो मैं ये बात समझती, क्योंकि because I have also, मैंने भी गलतियां की हैं उस चीज में. मैंने अपनी internship को इतना seriously नहीं लिया था, even though I did my internship in FedEx. But अगर मैं उसको और seriously करती तो things would have been a little bit more different as well. So I am giving this advice straight from my heart, guys. When you're completing your BBA or you're doing any graduation whatsoever, कहीं से भी कुछ भी कर रहे हो, अपनी internship को जितना seriously ले सको, and अगर आप उसको अपने खुद के बलबूते पे करो, you get that internship on your own, not through your contacts of your father, your mother, your chacha, your mama or anyone like that. वो भी मिल जाए ठीक है, but आप उसको एक focus तरीके से करो. You've got to do it very seriously. So once you do that, you build the gap, because when you do your theoretical and when you come to the practical world, the world is falls apart. So in order to build that gap and make a bridge between that, you've got to have that experience really well. Second tip I would definitely like to give everyone else right now, please read newspapers. Have good knowledge about the current affairs which is happening around. I think आप कुछ भी बन जाओ, you become the CEO also of a particular organization, you form your own company as well, you become a founder of a startup or anything. I can vouch you on this, from Sundar Pichai to, everyone. I'm sure they keep their current affairs knowledge so strong that it really helps them to, that experiences really matters. वो चीज जब आप पढ़ते हो तो आपको पता चलता है कि आपके next steps क्या हो सकते हैं.
True.
So, that is really very important. So keep that in handy always. And you are going to be like, MBA, BBA students are going to be business students. So for you people, it's very necessary to keep the current affairs in check. I think third most important, which I personally follow, is that, which is divided into two parts. First thing, never shy away from a conversation.
All right.
Never ever shy away from a conversation with anyone, whoever it is. Because, I got this advice from a very wise person in my Christ University itself. There are 3 ways जहाँ से आप अपनी knowledge बढ़ाते हो. एक, जो आप अपने teacher से सीखते हो. दूसरी, जो आप अपने experiences से लेते हो. तीसरी, कोई और आपको कोई और आपको आके बता रहा है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर टीचर और एनीथिंग, जो स्कूल और कॉलेज में पढ़े उसके अलावा जिंदगी में कोई और आपको आके वो ज्ञान दे रहा है, जो फ्री में लेक्चर्स देते हैं ना लोग आपको आके, वो. ठीक है, ये 3 सोर्स होते हैं आपके बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, जहां से आप सीखते हो. जो सबसे बड़ा सीखना होता है वो एक एक्सपीरियंस होता है, जो आप अपनी लाइफ के एक्सपीरियंसेस लेते हो, और वो एक्सपीरियंसेस तभी आएंगे जब तक आप लोगों से बात नहीं करोगे. जब करोगे तभी आएगा आपको वो एक्सपीरियंस. सो नेवर एवर शाय अवे फ्रॉम अ कॉन्वर्सेशन. कुछ भी हो, बात करो उनसे. जब तक आप बात नहीं करोगे तब तक आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि दूसरा वाला इंसान सोच क्या रहा है. एंड जब आप उनसे सीखोगे, उनके लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस लोगे, आई मीन एवरीवन हैज देयर ओन स्टोरी टू टेल, गाइस. I'm sure Shubham has a story, I have a story, you have a story, your parents have a story. Just listen to them and have some very fruitful conversations. And uska part 2 ye bolungi, never ever shy away from asking the most silliest of the silliest question. तुम्हारा डाउट बहुत सिली लग रहा है, यू फील लाइक अरे यार मैंने अगर ये पूछा तो मेरी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी.
ये बहुत होता है बच्चों के साथ.
yes, this is something I think हमें स्कूल में भी थोड़ा ये बात बोला जाता है कि you are asking these silly questions and all of that. ये होता है. Kids and parents, I would really tell all of you to encourage your kids to just to ask them as inquisitive they can be. जितने क्वेश्चंस है पूछो, silliest of the silliest है पूछो, पर एटलीस्ट इतना तो रहेगा ना कि क्वेश्चन पूछा, आंसर पता चला, तो वो हम गलती नहीं करेंगे.
True.
क्योंकि अगर आपने उस समय बेइज्जती लगी, वो बेइज्जती तभी ठीक है, बट व्हेन यू गो मूव फॉरवर्ड इन योर लाइफ एंड इफ यू मस्ट हैव थॉट अबाउट इट कि ये गलती हो गई, इसी के लिए मुझे अगर किसी से पूछ लिया होता तो वो बेइज्जती स्टिल बेटर थी रादर देन कि लाइफ वाली बेइज्जती हो जाए.
True.
तो वो चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो ऑलवेज नेवर शाय अवे फ्रॉम अ कॉन्वर्सेशन, नेवर शाय अवे फ्रॉम आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस, बी इट एनीथिंग. मतलब तुम्हें ये भी नहीं पता कि एप्पल ऊपर से नीचे क्यों गिर रहा है, even though we know that's a law of gravity, but just ask पूछो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So I think this has really helped me personally to grow in my life, to grow as a person, and it's still helping me on everyday daily basis.
थैंक यू सो मच तान्या। अभी तो बच्चों को मुझे लगता है कि बहुत अच्छी टिप्स मिल चुकी होंगी। एंड स्टूडेंट्स, मैं आपको ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ, अगर आगे चल के आप लोग को और इंटरव्यू प्रैक्टिस एंड ऑल सब कुछ करना होगा, सो शी इज अ लेडी हु विल बी हेल्पिंग यू आउट। आपको पता ही है हम लोग का फतेह कोर्स चल रहा है जिसमें हम लोग एंट्रेंस की प्रिपरेशंस करा रहे हैं, एंड वेर एन विल बी टेलिंग ईच एंड एवरीथिंग। पेपर कब आने वाला है, पेपर एग्जाम्स कैसे पढ़ना है, इंटरव्यू के लिए वी हैव गॉट सच अ गुड लेडी टू इससे अच्छा क्या मिलेगा हमें, जो यार कल को तुमको कॉलेज से ही पिक करके लेकर जा रही होगी। Thank you so much, Tanya, for joining us. And it was a
Thank
lovely
you.
session. Thank you for your time. And we'll be catching you soon. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very soon, very soon. So, guys, if you have any question or anything, you can please definitely get in touch with Shubham. Shubham can guide you to the right platform. I am here. I really love having conversation with kids nowadays. I think you guys have so much to offer, and that is something that I'm really looking forward to. So let's see, and I will see you guys very soon, not through a virtual platform, but face to face. I hope so.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.